Now I'm going to take some bit of the darker green, and I'm going to put a, here these rocks are coming up, but now I want to stop the eye from sort of going out. I'll put a few little grasses up there, and you'll notice I've made one of them out that way. So what happens, your eye comes to that, and without you realizing it, your eye gets pushed across there. It's a pointer, and it pushes back into the painting. Take a bit of a lighter green. Just put a few little touches in there. A little bit of brown, very lightly in down the bottom here to give some shadow into that grass. And then I'm going to take that pink again, and just along the top here, push that grass behind the rock. So I'm going to take that and just in that little area, not necessarily right to the end, just this area here. Some shadow there, and that gives you some of the, let's put some of that down there like that. Here you go. So I've pushed that one behind. Now we've got a few other little areas too where I think let's finish this here first. I'm going to bring that down, take some more of this. Just touch it, just to roughen that little edge a little bit there. And then underneath this lot here, you get the real little dark area. And I'm just sort of touching that little piece that's going to come right down here behind that rock. And then this highlight will come down in here. Take a bit of this yellow. There's a few little touches in there. These are a bit on the spiky side. Oops, I just want to get some of this pencil mark away. Just go over it ever so slightly there. Put a few little dots into there. But then that part here does get a bit darker in there. Okay, so we have that one there disappearing, coming out from the rocks. This one here is going to do the same with a slightly lighter yellowy color here. Sort of half blend that a bit together. And I put a little touch of the orange inside here now to get that lovely sunlight coming in. Now I want to, okay, let's take, I'm going to take inside here too. The very light little touches of orange in. I don't want to do it away because I'm getting from the dark through into a very lighter color on the side here. I want these rocks to really look nice. In the shadow area you also touch a few little marks. Your eye will see it, and bring some. Your camera may not see it, but your eye sees all these little marks in the. Just going to give it a touch, just pushing it in, not moving it, just pushing it into the other. So here I'm going to put a little crevice up into here. And a few little marks. very light. You get all these little rocks are not always smooth. You have these little indentations in it, and you have all these little shadow marks. So we got a few little ones in. If it's a bit too heavy, too dark, just give it a tap with your finger, and you just push it in and sort of lighten it up a little bit. So it brings it bit here and here. I got another black. I don't know what happened to the other one, so I need to darken up some of these areas a little bit. They give you some real nice contrasts in some of these areas. But use it very sparingly. Only to give you the contrast where you need it real in the deepest shade. See, I'm bringing that out into there. Deep shade. I can bring out this stem, bring it and separate it from this rock, so it's between this rock and the other. And you see it's between a rock and a hard place, eh? A few little marks, just to give some nice little emphasis to the just putting it flat and just putting a few little marks here. Okay, so we can need some more grass, etc. So let's put some more little grass in. So we need some, let's put some here. Keep this one company a bit. Some grass coming out the other top between these rocks. Some behind there, just to stop the eye from going out. We got some little in between here. Where shall we go? We're going to still put some in here. So you don't have just absolutely dark. You got some, at least something happening in the shade. Bring that one up a little bit. Cut that one. Pushes it further back, so you give it just another plane. You have all these different planes that help give you distance. So you got a little, maybe a little plant in here. Oh, where can we put some? Put somewhere in this corner as well. A few little odd ones, and let's take a bit of white. Maybe there's a few little flowers here, eh? Just to make them, let's put some yellow flowers in rather. Nice and soft yellow here. Let's take a touch of red. Not too much, just show that there's something there. A little touch of yellow, maybe very lightly. Top one's catching a little bit of sun. Lovely highlight there, because a few little marks, a bit of a darker brown, give you that shadow area. Some of them are in the shade. We did there. I need to, where is this one here? clean that up a bit. Do some sharpening up along this edge. Across here where the, let me use my left hand here quickly so I can see. Sharpen that edge there, right against there. There we go. That one stands out. Got this across this one here. I want that corner to stand out. Anything in the corner like this, when it goes vertical, you're going to catch much more sun. So it's going to, those little areas are going to show up quite a bit. A few little odd little ones break up the monotony. Here I'm going to just add a few little brown marks into there. So I'm using this little edge, just pushing it down and up, pushing it down and up. So let's have a look and see. Any questions so far? Let's have a look at it. Put just a few little marks inside here. There we go. But always slightly pushing your eye into the picture. Let's have a look and see the big picture so long and see how it fits in. Now the only thing is now with the vertical, you don't see the nice big picture. What I'm going to do, I'm now going to come back and I'm going to darken this little center part. You see it's too even across. Sun's coming from this side, so I need to put more darker in this one to show shadow, and the same a little bit darker on this side, a little bit darker on that side there, to give you that sunlight coming from the one side and not just from absolutely from the front, bring it from the side. So let's do that. I'm going to take the black and I'm just going to put a few little darker marks right in the center, not too much. I just want to darken up this, a few little stripes inside there too, which emphasizes these pieces that have sort of fallen over. I don't want to do too much, just like that. That's good enough. This one on the right hand side, I'm going to just do the same, a few little dark marks to give you that nice big center area. And lift out that. Now I'm going to use the darker brown. And I may even add a little touch of, very few, just a little touch of the violet in there. Very little, not much. I don't want to add too much in it, just a hint. Just a hint. It gives you that like a sparkle. Right, now where's the dark brown? It was here. Just clean it up. And I'm going to come in here and very lightly go over that green. Don't take it away, but I just want to darken up this area. I'm doing it very light, a very light touch. Bring it up there. Just go over it ever so slightly just to tone down those colors. Here, and touch across here, and leave that point, but that's sticking out in the sun. We just darken these others a little bit here. Not too happy with that one up top here. So let's see if I can make it a bit a bigger leaf coming out there. There we go, that looks better. And inside here, in this little area, just that area gives that nice little depth inside, right inside here, between those, underneath there. Separate those out inside. Let's have a look. That looks better. Got some nice. This one here needs a little bit more darkening just on the side, but not quite as dark as those. It's a little bit further away. Some of these areas are a little bit too bright. So let's tone them down. These are very light touch. Okay, right, I'll just note that we need to just add a few little imperfections in the rocks, make it look a bit more natural. These little marks, very light, not a lot. Darken up this area here a bit. Push the eye in. I think that's just about it. A little bit early today. Okay. Anybody questions or like me to just ask anything else? And things that you're not too certain about, not too clear about, let me know. There we go. Next week's lesson, as far as I can remember, is the two huts. Now that's also a nice, interesting one as well. We're going to do a little bit more detailed than what I've got here. And I'm just thinking now, instead of using it just this particular size, I'll put it into the notes, the template, and we take our masking tape and just put it on the edge. And now we're going to use that one and make a bit of a larger picture, and that one is going to be also a landscape as opposed to portrait thing. Let's see, anybody else? How things tend to grow too big with pastel. But don't forget, you can also tone in, eh? You can also tone in. So let's say I've got some of this. I've got the sky, and I want to tone some of, let's say, this little piece here. Let's say now, if you can sort of come into here. It's just to show you what I can do. You can always come back and do what they call negative painting into here. So I've got some of that. I can very lightly come over. That's that. Put a bit of white into that. And I've taken some of that away. So, you know, these things, I can sharpen up this little edge here as well too. I can come in and put some of that in there. And come in with the, I did something stupid. My big fingers. But let's take here, I'm going to take some of the white, I'm going to put a bit of white into there. A touch more of this other lighter color. And you can take some of the tissue, and you can also very lightly touch up the areas around it. And blend it in. Come back with your darker green and just edge it off like that. So these things happen. You can change as you go along as well too. Happy accidents, etc. Too busy keeping up to ask questions. Natalie Val says she has that same problem with most mediums. Yeah, the thing is you need to go. You see, we in a class situation here, but you go along and during the week, just take your time. Don't rush. I have to rush because I've got time constraints, but you don't have time constraints. But normally, but I tell you what, those who have been following along with the paint-alongs, they certainly improve because they don't have time to think. You just do it, and you don't go into tend to worry about tiny little details. So, if there's no more questions, then I think we can then call it a day and meet again next week. Accumulated knowledge from different mediums certainly gives one a broader perspective. Yes, absolutely. Those who tend to just keep to one medium, they tend to have what they call tunnel vision. And the more mediums that you can try, it's not necessary that, what is it, master of none, jack of all trades and master of none. The only thing is, he can be a jack of all trades, but he knows a lot more than the one who's just master of the one. And from that, you have ideas and stuff coming up that can help you with another medium. That's why on the top of my PDF, you will see that although this is pastels, I did the same with the others, although this is pastels, there's a lot of inside this one that can help you with other mediums as well too. The same thing, if you're doing this one in oils for argument's sake, the way we lay this out here, with the darks first and the lighter, same principle, absolutely the same principle. And you can move around and change. In actual fact, you can even change it easier than here. Maybe, depends if you put your oils too thick, then you have to start scraping away and then come back down to the other. Otherwise, you tend to put too much on top of each other. Same thing with this. I've tried to do these ones here too without doing the spray, just to show you that you don't always have to use the spray and you can still come out with a nice painting. Okay, so I think that's it. Let's end off. And, okay. Right, let me put my other glasses on so I can see properly. Them's are my computer glasses. There we go, now I look better. And I can see you better as well too. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's one. A little bit better than the previous ones as we're going along. But as you go along, you're going to get better and better. You're going to be, the control is going to be much easier. You can work with it much easier. And I've got some exciting stuff ahead for you in the future as well too. So, from my side, from Nolan's side, have a good week. And we will see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.